This video is about a update on my elbow injuries, my right elbow. A few months back, maybe about 2 months ago, I hurt my elbow because I was lifting too much weight on the curl bar, put like maybe 120 pounds, and I was lifting it and I felt something tweak, and ever since then I felt this pain in my elbow during certain movements. You know, like grabbing something out here, it would hurt. Like holding a gun like that would hurt. Be certain times it would hurt. Even sometimes when I punch, it would hurt. So basically, being the way that I am, I refused to stop training, so I kept training on it, and the injury just never was healing because I kept training and training and training, and it wasn't getting worse, but it wasn't getting better. If anything, it was getting just a little bit better. So then about a month goes by, it's still not healed, and but then it was healing just a little bit. And what ended up happening was, you know, I was holding mitts for somebody and they're punching like really hard, and then those punches hurt it really bad, and then it got worse than it did when I heard it originally. So then at that point, I'm like, you know what? I have to really focus on healing this thing. I gotta stop aggravating it, and I don't want to have to go to surgery or anything like that. And so then I started to focus a lot of my training on my legs, a lot of kicking, you know, just a bunch of kicking, not much on the upper body. And when I did work on the upper body, I made sure that I used a lighter weight. So normally I'd use dumbbells that are like 40-45 pounds, but now I just cut it all the way back down to like 25 pounds, 30 pounds at the most, and just working on better form, and just making sure that I'm doing movements that is not aggravating it, and continually working on the kicks and not really aggravating the elbow too much by punching too much. So ever since I've been doing that, my elbow has gotten a lot better. It's still not fully healed, but I plan to keep focusing on my kicks and my lower body development, and still focusing on the lightweight training when it comes to like dumbbells and things like that, so then it doesn't get re-aggravated. Be very careful. I'm not going to really be holding focus mitts anymore for a while, and when I'm punching the bag and things like that, I want to make sure that when I'm punching it, I'm not aggravating it. You know, things like this, injuries like this, just shows you how fragile your body is. And you know, I was just thinking about it, you know, what if my elbow never healed, you know, and how much it'd be a detriment to my training. And you know, I'm trying to represent like a high level of fitness training, but of fitness development, but just one little minor injury could throw everything off. No matter be it elbow, your wrist, your finger, your knee, your ankle, your toe, just one little injury, a shoulder injury, which is very common, your lower back, it could just throw everything off, you know. And that's how fragile our bodies are, and we really have to take great care in training properly and protecting our bodies, you know, from these sorts of injuries. I learned a lot from this, you know, and I want to just continue to train in a healthy way, while at the same time challenging myself properly, but not overdoing it, you know. And proper form is extremely important, and you know, heavy weightlifting is very dangerous, and we got to be careful with the heavy weightlifting, you know. And I want to use less, you know, start, you know, focusing more on using less weight with better form. And occasionally, when this thing finally heals, maybe occasionally I use like heavier weights, but I'm still like kind of reluctant to, you know, because there's really not that much of a benefit from using so much heavy weight, you know. I won't do it too often. I want to make sure that I'm using the proper weight, and then I got good form throughout. You know, it's extremely important to have proper form when you're exercising to prevent injuries like this. Injuries, if you seriously injure yourself, it could be a lifelong injury, and it could even require surgery. And I just encourage people to pay attention to their bodies, and to, you know, practice proper form and their exercise techniques.